Hey everybody, and welcome to my week ahead read from my Crystal Visions deck for the 14th through the 20th of September 2025. So as with these, take what resonates and leave what does not. Comment, like, share, subscribe, follow if you'd like, and donations are payable to Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and MetaPay. Comment below for any personalized reads or any donation request information or anything like that. And I'm going to go about an hour to 90 minutes for this video. Just bear with me here. Because I'm going to get all 5 aspects. So I want to make sure that I cover every base I can. So we have the moon energy today. So what this is meaning is there's going to be deception throughout the week. Lies throughout the week, feelings of betrayal, half-truths, white lies, lying by omission, secrets being stolen or secrets being made, inside jokes, spiritual narcissism. There's a lot of negative feelings, a lot of negative emotions that are going on through the day. Certain smells may be a trigger, certain visions may be a trigger, certain sentient feelings can be a trigger as well, like if you feel the breeze on your face or you end up smelling the rain. It seems to be one of those things where tripling up would be wise. So like grounding, protection, shielding, warding, as well as having a firm foundation. Balancing your house life with your wild side can be very beneficial as long as you are able to navigate in a way that makes sense to your intuition. There's going to be a lot of intuitive messages coming, a lot of telepathic messages coming, especially to or from a divine feminine. It looks like there's going to be a lot of feminine energy, so a lot of sacrificing yourself, a lot of nurturing, a lot of kind-heartedness, gentle nudges in the right direction. It looks like there's going to be some headway being made, especially between the 10th and the 18th, or between 3 in the morning and 6 at night. It looks like there's going to be a lot of jobs that deal with saving the wolves or animal reservations or preservations, national parks, garden centers, nature centers, parks and recreation that are going to be going through some heavy hitting phases, a lot of heavily impacted emotions that are driving you forward or driving that forward. It looks like there's going to be a time for balance needed. You need to be able to balance your domestic and your wildlife. Wildlife preserves, domestic violence cases, domestic situations in which you have to be made aware. Something has not been brought to your attention or needs to be brought to your attention in order for you to move forward. You may be getting like a warning from somebody, or you may be metaphysically dreaming about something or someone, or a certain feeling that you get in your dreams, like lucid dreaming, vivid practicing, like active imagination practices and such like that. They can all be very beneficial to you and can help you along your path. Especially between the 15th and the 18th of the month. It looks like you're only going to get like partial information, and you're only going to be told what's needed. You're not going to be told like elaborate schemes or anything like that. You're going to just be told on a need-to-know basis is what's coming out. Secret Service, ICE, OSS, of course that's the CIA nowadays. Let's see, USSR sticks out, the olden days USSR, traumas that have been related to cultural appropriation or historical whitewashing or systematic racism. There's going to be a lot of transparency that's going to be needed. This is a lesson this week in transparency. This is a lesson in complete honesty. This is a lesson in trusting your intuition through the phases of life, through the different phases. This is especially true between the full moon and the waning moon, or the waning crescent moon all the way to the full moon. So that would be the next week, basically. There's going to be a lot of deceptions and a lot of lies and a lot of hidden agendas, secret societies, secret emotions, secret feelings, unknown factors, dark forces that are all basically going to be playing in on your decision making, your balancing your spirit with your physical body, and it's also going to have a heavy impact on your animal empathy, your dark empathy. Animals are very smart, so paying attention to the nature of animals and learning the etymology of word choice, the law of thought, the law of choice, and the law of magnetism are going to be very effective, and you're going to need to be able to manifest your desires throughout rather than relying on other people. Hyper independence or over reliance on allowing your spirit guides or your intuition to guide your choices. It's not saying that you should ignore your intuition or you should ignore your spirit guides, but not everything that you are feeling that is familiar is going to be good for you. So it may be a negative impact or a neutral impact that is hindering your manifesting. This is a no card because you don't have all the information, you don't have everything situated, you don't have all the pieces yet of the puzzle, and you have just enough to see where your footing lies, but you need to trust your instincts and you need to trust your inherent abilities over anything else at this point. But not to the point of like delusions of grandeur or being very low on self-worth. External validation and seeking justice in a way that is to your moral standards and to your moral implications. Grays stick out, both the people and the color. Remaining stoicism, taking a neutral side to things, morally gray areas, gray witches, purple witches, moon gods, wolf gods, flower gardening goddesses and gods. So like Demeter, Artemis. There's a few indigenous tribes that have wolves in them. Dire wolves, gray wolves, Arctic wolves. Cultural heritages stick out as well for heavy impacts throughout the week. There's going to be a lot of energy vampirism, a lot of left-handed path work being made, a lot of shadows being presented to you between the hours of like 5 p.m. and 3 in the morning. So this week would be wise and beneficial to, like write down your dreams, write down your thoughts, speak with intent, write down everything that you know. K-N-O-W. It's okay to say no. It's okay to mean no. It's one of those things where you need to learn how to take no for an answer without blowing up and reacting poorly. Much like the ebbs and flows of the ocean and the push and pull energy that you're going to feel. Much like that, there's a sense of phasing going on. This is just a phase of life. Phase walking, portal jumping, time traveling. All of these are going to be very influential throughout your life and throughout history. You are learning through history. What you're doing and how you listen to your intuition and how you do your spiritual practices and how you assert your faith in yourself in spirit and in physical body. Show a lot about your character, show a lot about your justice system, shows a lot about your biases, and people use your empathy against you. So just being aware of where you stand with that. It looks like there's going to be a lot of dark empathy practice, a lot of dark telepathy practice. Magnets, metallics. The name Magneto sticks out. Magneto. Let's see. It looks like certain smells could mean a warning or could mean someone's close to you. Smelling a deceased loved one's perfume, or hearing your deceased pet's bell on their neck can be very telling. Protector guides and spirits, animal guides, anthropomorphic guides and beings are all there to help you. Lady Galandria sticks out as well, especially for 11s and 13s. Between the hours of 1 in the morning and 5 in the morning, you may be receiving a lot of stimulation around you, a lot of stimuli, a lot of energetic spikes, electromagnetic wave pulses going up. You might be startled awake by a dream or by a thought, or you could have sworn you heard somebody's voice when you live alone. Trickster spirits, trickster gods like Loki and Lucifer can be around you and can be very helpful at times. Being careful about what secrets to reveal and who to share those secrets with. Being mindful of the hidden aspects of things. Allowing time to either coexist or integrate with your shadow would be wise and beneficial. Working through the demonization of who you are, what you believe, your gender identity, your sexual orientation, your ideologies, political and religious. It's basically going around the whole kit and caboodle today. Archways, doorways, weddings, chapels, officiates stick out as well. So legal documents and internalized misogyny and internalized sexism, internalized transphobia, internalized xenophobia are all going to be affecting you both internally and externally, even without your conscious knowing. It looks like 5 to 13% sticks out for numbers, and 10 to 18% stick out as well. Those numbers are personal, so you'd have to ask for a reading or figure it out intuitively on your own to see what that means. Challenges to your beliefs and conflict of interests, along with how you perceive liberation, how you perceive freedom, how you perceive your self-worth, what you perceive as the truth versus objective reality. Breaking free of illusions would be wise, because there's a lot of illusory magic, chaos beings like Chaos herself, Hecate, Lilith, Kali, Isis, Bastet. There's just a lot of feminine energy that seems to just being ignored at times. It seems like there is a sense of judgment too. Trumpet flowers stick out. Angelic guidance, angelic messages, angel numbers, angel messages, receiving messages from angels like Gabriel or Jophiel or Michael or Raphael or Raziel or Ariel even. White light visualization techniques, along with positivity training and positive outlooks, can help. Be wary of genuine versus toxic positivity. Being able to balance your light and your dark aspects would be wise and beneficial. There is a sense of divine justice and divine judgment being placed upon you right now, for something that you may have done within the last 18 to 20 days, between 2018 and 2020, or even between the 18th to 20th of this month. Now, it looks like there's going to be a lot of transgressions being made, a lot of accountability that needs to be taken, being able to make judgment calls and discern what the best choice is, what the best course of action is, what the repercussions of each choice are, what the karmic implications might be, how to cleanse and clear your karmic energy and your karmic spirit. Music, liberal arts, physical sciences, jobs that advocate for the lives of women and the lives of children, jobs that deal with aviation and turbulent energies and like a lot of loud mouths or loud sounds going on, like engines or like NASCAR or like a dentist drill even. It looks like there's going to be some self-love lessons, some lessons in love and marriage and relationships. There's also going to be some hollowed out information, meaning like you're only going to get certain parts and then it's going to feel like you have like a hollowed out pit in your stomach. Hallowed halls stick out. The sound of trumpets. It sounds like almost like a legion of trumpet sounds, like a whole army of trumpets. Heeding the call. This Christian song is popping up in my head called Here I Am, Lord. It's a Christian song that might be beneficial for someone to translate or feel called to look up or analyze. It's not always Christian based because the words can have and take on different meanings to certain people, but the objective message will remain the same. So researching the personalized message along with the objective message through that would be beneficial if you choose. Traumas surrounding church, or traumas surrounding certain smells, or traumas surrounding femininity, or identifying as a woman, or not identifying as the same as your gamete phenotypes, basically. Reductionist values and transmedicalism. Grapist apologists. SA abuse surviving. Gardening, nurturing your garden. Care providers, babysitters, child care providers, early childhood educators, Sunday school teachers. Basically what I'm getting is expect a call from someone, whether it be in the dream or in physical life or both, and heed that call. Listen to your intuition, follow your gut, and follow your heart. Be sure that they are in balance with your choices and your morals and standards. Dualist perspectives are very wise to have, but an indecisive mind, even when your intuition is telling you one thing or your guides are telling you one thing, can be hindering your progress if they're not on the same page. Repetitive loops, repeat patterns of behavior, toxic environments, reincarnation cycles stick out as well. So somebody might be affected by the reincarnation cycle, or might be affecting their own reincarnation cycle, or might be in between reincarnation cycles at this point. Being in two places at once, but also none at all. The circle has many sides, yet none at all. Infinite power, infinite knowledge, infinite wisdom is all within your grasp, especially when you are ready to take accountability, seek forgiveness, find closure within your own heart, and move forward. It looks like there's going to be a lot of heavy-hitting calls that you need to make, a lot of heavy-hitting discussions that you're going to have. You might have to take a stance on an issue or a belief that you have. You may need to come to peace with how things have unfolded. Like, God, grant me the wisdom, grant me the power to know what I can change, the power to know what I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference, kind of a deal. AA meetings, NA meetings. Basically, it looks like there's going to be a lot of deception that you're going to have to make a judgment call on, and there's going to be a lot of decisions and choices being thrown at you that you're just going to have to make a proper call on. It looks like it's going to affect your life in a big way, and for each choice there is an alternate reality where you have chosen the other path. Looking into parallel lives and future lives to make sure that you are doing what you want and get what you want and can have what you want will be very, very, very beneficial. Angels, sylphs, sprites, any basically fae, winged creatures, winged beings like avians, dragons, not just dragons but dracos, any kind of draconic order. Learning to take the high road and being able to learn your light empathy, your light telepathy, finding your light without losing your hope. Show some humility, gain some nobility, be humble, self-confidence, controlling your emotions, being able to understand when you're being manipulated, even at a spirit level, even if you can't physically see it. Spiritual manipulation, soul manipulation, spiritual triangulation are all going to be impacting you. We also have the sun reversed. So there's going to be a refusal to change, a refusal of pattern metamorphosis. So basically they're stuck in their own same pattern and they haven't changed yet. Everything's basically how it was since early 2019 or since the last time you guys met. It looks like one of those things where you might get sunflowered, or you might need a withdrawal to like introspection and self-reflection and work on your depression and your anxiety, and self-entitlement, overinflated ego, vanity, conceitedness due to having power over women's autonomy, having power over people weaker than them, having superiority complex, not just in masculine form but also in feminine form. It looks like there's going to be some form of refusal to take off your horse blinders, refusal to take your turn, or refusal to give you your turn. There looks to be some toxic positivity that's going on, disingenuous behavior, unoriginal mindsets going on. Black horses stick out. The Broncos for American football stick out. The monarch butterfly preservations and reservations. Equine therapy, bovine therapy can help. Working on your fear of horses, working on your fear of wildlife, taking the way of the butterfly instead of being like expecting instant gratification and then getting mad when it's delayed, or trying to rush through things. Just take some time to travel, take some time to take it slow, take some time to heal and for yourself. Cockiness, arrogance, rash behaviors are all going to be affecting the energy. Refusing to let people out of their cage, refusing to let people think for themselves, refusing the freedom of liberation for other people. Refusing to keep your promise or avoiding doing what it takes to have your promise be fulfilled. Basically, like, it's your own fault that you put yourself in this. Victim of circumstance mentality, playing victim, victimhood mindset sticks out. Like, you may not be a victim in, like, the sense of, like, you feel helpless, but in the sense of, like, a legal sense, like a legal term, like, victim would be, like, the state, if it's a domestic violence case kind of a deal. Not listening to a mother, not listening to female role models, having an aversion to femininity, refusing your feminine identity. This is meaning, like, we all have masculine and feminine energy, masculine and feminine identities, basically, within your soul, is what I mean. Other people refusing to call you your preferred self-identified pronouns, names. Someone shooting down your hopes and dreams. Animal doctors. Tree pullers. Tree pushers stick out like in dinosaurs. There seems to be a lot of ego and attachment. A lot of separation anxiety that needs to be worked on. It seems like before the 19th at 7 p.m. there might be a thought or a person or a dream or an action that has not been taken yet due to your lack of care, your lack of empathy to do so. Or to you thinking that everything's hunky-dory when it's not, or saying that it's fine when it's not, saying that you're okay when you're not. You need to be able to take care of yourself. You need to be able to rise above the clouds. Learning from the lessons of Icarus. Wax, like candle wax, candle making, beeswax, beekeeping, pollination sticks out. Wearing clothing that doesn't quite fit your ideals also sticks out. So, like, wearing a mask or wearing a uniform or feeling emasculated because of having to have a younger boss, or having a toxic work family. It looks like there's going to be someone that's very, like, Debbie Downer, negative Nelly kind of a deal. Someone that can be fake nice. It looks like there's some fake niceness going on. Some falsehoods going on. Some masking going on. Like, strong fronts are being put up. Strong fronts are being placed. It looks like there's going to be a short temper or a short season going on. The isolation and withdrawal period will be pretty short. But very powerful. Very, very powerful. Like, all of these cards are major arcana. So there's, like, a lot of heavy impact within the next few days, it looks like. So we have analyticism, analytics practices, analyzing your behaviors, healing your inner child, ease, comfort, convenience, amiable, convenience store clerks, convenience store workers, entry-level positions, entry-level jobs are going to be heavily impacted. You may even experience, like, a high turnover rate due to how you run the business. Love and light only can be seen as toxic because not everything is going to be love and light. Turning away from the sun. Getting your back in the sun. Refusing to have your vitamin D or your D3 or your potassium. Refusing to take care of your physical or mental health because of the fact that you just don't understand it because you don't physically see it. You may not even feel it at a subconscious level. You may need to actually sit down and focus on it. And even then, you may not be able to catch it. So just being aware of the unconscious acts, the unintentional acts, things that you are not paying attention to. Subtle hints, subtle body languages, nonverbal cues, subtle energy shifts or subtle feelings in energy. Mimics and tricksters like to be like slightly off in energy when you're doing your spiritual practices. So just being aware of how that can impact you and how it can influence your decisions. Like you could think that you're talking to, say, Loki, for example, but it could be like a trickster god that acts like Loki but isn't Loki. And there's gods like Loki who's actually a trickster god himself, and he's going to throw his energy off just to test you. So using discernment would be wise. Not everything is going to be all cupcakes and rainbows, but not everything is going to be negative as well. What's interesting is that we have the moon and the sun in the same reading. So it looks like the divine feminine needs to be balanced with the divine masculine. And it looks like the masculine has taken like a darker turn, or has an inflated ego, or can get cocky, or can be arrogant, or might use humor or toxic positivity as a way to manipulate and control women, or control people to think a certain way, or control people to do a certain thing or to believe something that isn't fully true. Breaking free of these illusions and breaking free of the falsehoods would be wise. Working on breaking your rose-colored glasses and taking your jaded visions that you have and your jaded views and actually looking at things from a realistic standard and a realistic standpoint. Let's see here. Relying on natural causes to do your dirty work can also be seen. Or refusing to do what comes natural, which can end up hindering your progress. Wow, we just keep getting heavy cards. So we have the reverse Empress today as well. So passive aggression, narcissistic tendencies like vanity, entitlement, conceitedness, self-centeredness, abusive in power, uses magnetism to get what they want, uses their looks to get what they want, uses being who they are to get what they want. It looks like there's a lot of selfishness and vanity going on, a lot of look at me going on, a lot of attention-seeking habits, and due to jealousy and envy and frivolousness, due to infidelity or thoughts of infidelity or impure thoughts about women or impure thoughts about those that are mothers of children. It looks like there's going to be a vulnerable state going on, a vulnerable narcissist, a malignant narcissist, a covert narcissist, something along those lines that might be affecting you or be affected by you. Let's see here. That'll be my last card. So what I'm going to get is there's a lot of selfishness, a lot of me first. I don't care about you. I don't care about what anybody else says. This is what I want. This is how I'm going to do it. This is what's going to happen. And if not, then you're not helping me and you don't love me and blah, 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 blah. It looks like there's a lot of needing to break free or wanting to say something, but then being afraid of what might happen or the repercussions, or afraid of doing something that will harm somebody. Let's say if a woman goes and says something to a man, and the man, instead of harming you, goes and acts nice towards you and then takes it in silence out on himself, or he goes and constructively makes like a poem or like a music or something like that, or they break up with you because of it, like in a civil-ish manner, but they don't tell you that it hurt or that it harmed them or that it angered them. Like that could be like a half lie or like a white lie or deception from this. So just being aware of that. Make your own judgment calls. Your judgment is affecting your self-esteem. You have a low self-esteem. The song Low Self-Esteem sticks out as well. It looks like there's a lack of wanting to talk to your mothers, or no communication with mother, or you have an overbearing mother or an overprotective mother, or you have like a protector spirit or a protector guide or someone that's nurturing you and coddling you and basically sheltering you and shielding you from the harshness of life and the lack of compassion that you have for yourself. Let's just put it that way. There seems to be over analyticism of certain things and not enough analyticism on the others. Discernment is, again, needed for that. Looks like sour attitudes, waspy behaviors, bittersweet victories, pretending to love someone when you don't, or pretending to be happy with somebody but you're not. Just because you say you're happy and you're fine and you're okay, or just because you say you're not going to act on it doesn't mean that whatever you said that you weren't going to act on didn't hurt. Like, you can't take words back even if you don't mean them, which is why you need to watch what you say and watch how you say it and choose whether or not to say it. There may not have been any other solution that wasn't depressing or wasn't anxiety ridden. There's going to be a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of headaches and fatigue and nausea going on, and digestive tract issues like IBS, ulcerative colitis, all that. Crohn's disease sticks out as well. Not wanting to become pregnant, or not being able to become pregnant, or not identifying as a female or as a woman, or as your appearance suggests, can be hindering your progress. It looks like a lack of inactivity or a lack of receptivity sticks out. Not having a mom also can be playing in, or not having a female role model that you can pay attention to and that you can love and respect. We have this card as well, the Death card. So what we have is, we need to make a change. We need to stop with the death threats, stop with the suicidal ideation, homicidal ideation, work on constructive ways to better ourselves and to think of other people and to keep our promises. Sleeping on things and putting things to bed would be wise. Sometimes it's best to just let bygones be bygones. Sometimes it's best to just let the lying person just sleep. Basically, lying down. Not lying as in L-Y. Ending a relationship due to lies and deceit is a form of betrayal wound. So working on your betrayal wound, working on your spiritual metamorphosis, going through a lot of soul searching and deep diving, angels of death and harbingers of death and gods of the dead stick out. Having cold feet, or having a lack of commitment, or being afraid of death, or being afraid of what might happen, or being afraid that what you say or do will have dire consequences on not only you, but everybody else, including the ecosystem. Enlightenment, shedding truth on things, lying about people dying or lying about wanting to die can also be affected. Like if someone says, where is this person, and you say she's dead, or he's dead, or they're dead, or it's dead. Pronouns. So, dead naming someone can be a sign of what needs to be changed, because if you're on purposely misgendering them or misnaming them or refusing to allow them their own autonomy, then that's when you're going to be heavily affected. Between the 13th of September and October 2nd, there's going to be a lot of reaping what you sow, a lot of gatekeeping habits being shown to you, necessity to move on from toxic behaviors and end toxic relationships and negative relationships. It's a time to open up about being emotionally vulnerable, about your loss of innocence, about your soul, basically. Your soul is speaking louder than your words and actions. speak volumes. It can also mean like your spirit and your soul are saying different things than what you're saying. Like you could say, I was only kidding, but your body wasn't. Or I would never do that, but then your body is like indicating that it would. And it's just going to sit there and create a hindrance. Secrets, possessiveness, possessions, DID, mounting, mediumship abilities, death doulas, death certificates, funeral homes, memorial homes, church services, social gatherings over like religious policies and ideologies and political ideologies. Black sticks out. Cloaking sticks out, like cloaking devices. Absent-mindedness. Protection needs to go up. You need to protect yourself more. Banishment, exorcisms, demonization sticks out. Demonizing behavior, demonizing the demon sticks out. So just being aware of your emotions and your thought processes and your feelings that pertain around like death and what happens after death and what happens before death and what happens beyond death. Your self-pleasures and your personality, along with how you appear to others, creates a disposition about you. Writing things about you, writing things down that they learned from you, writing things down you've learned from other people or about other people can also be helpful. Writing down your journals or having a spirit log can help. Being able to manage your emotions better can help. Balancing your light and your dark aspects of yourself and being able to come off on top. Death is an illusion, and so is separation. Just as a like background of information. It looks like today there was a lot of like major arcana cards and like nothing else. So this is a very heavily impacted life. This is a very heavily impacted week. There is a lot of dirt to dig up. You need to get your hands dirty to get the information. You need to be willing to go where you've never been before, do what you've never done before, or do something you've done before but in a new way. Take protection with you. Take your time. Take your stance and know that you are your best when you're your most energetic. When you feel so depressed or sad or you get jolted awake because of being overstimulated, know that this is a sign to calm your mind, calm your spirit, calm your soul, and see on a huge like level what's going on. Huge levels in like inside, outside, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and metaphysical. So checking all of the aspects along with what's going on. Putting the pieces together. It looks like between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. is another time frame that can help you figure things out. Or it can be a time frame. But your answer is still going to be like no, because there's so much deception, so much lies, so many things that are still up in the air, that are still like yet to be found or uncovered by you, even about you. Like you don't even know yourself enough to do much of anything for some of us. So it's one of those things where you just need to manifest a deeper desire. Short journeys, education, and mental health are going to be heavily impacted, and your main focus points. Jobs in education, jobs in mental health, and jobs that allow for short journeys like truck drivers, travel agents, those that help book flights and book things. Killing a butterfly can have adverse effects on the life, on other people. The butterfly effect, the movie, sticks out. Ripple effects stick out strongly. It also looks like one of those things of you need to end something, end a relationship, end a housing situation, end a job, end a way of thinking, stop the deception, break free of the illusion, before much of anything else can happen. And it all basically centers down to your intuition, your trust in yourself, your faith in yourself, the empathy that you have, the motivation that drives you, the communication that you're willing to give, the hard work, the diligence, and the tangible, like, progress. So what I mean by tangible progress is like physically showing change, physically showing progress, and whether it's up, down, slanted, stagnant for a bit. Progress is progress, but progress for the sake of progress is not progress at all. That's what I'm going to leave it at, though, for the 14th through the 20th of September 2025. As always with these, though, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And thank you so much for joining my week ahead video.